G'day guys, how's it going? Welcome back of course to the Time Bomb channel, and I hope all is good in your part of the world. Watch review of the Junghans Chonoscope 1972 Chronoscope Sports Edition 2025 limited edition, and this one is reference 414579.00. First class watchers have lent this one into the channel for review today. Massive thanks to them for that. Do check them out, and of course if you go and look at this watch or any other watch, please do mention the Time Bomb channel, because they'll do their best to help you on price matching. So this is a new release, and you probably don't need me to tell you why I picked it, because it just screams out retro sports and summer. So let's just zoom in a fraction to get closer to it. So I think that this is the first Junghans I've had in for review, and my fault, but my mind always goes back to the Max Bill when I hear the name Junghans. But again, that's my limitation, and probably slightly unfair to treat them as a little bit of a one-trick pony for the brand. They have heaps of other watches like these. The Max Bill, though, to me is iconic. It comes in multiple variations, and kind of it's a lesson in how to do simple and unfussy and do it well. But back to this one. So this chronoscope then comes in three colors. Obviously this white orange version. Then there is a darker sort of black and blue version here. Then I've also seen this racing green version. Really do like that one a lot. I think it goes very well. And again, this very easy wearing blue version, again, I think is going to sit well on many people's wrists. But to me, this white one stood out simply because it's so retro motorsport that you almost expect it to be called the Le Mans or the Herbie or the Monte Carlo or something like that. So key speckage, these are then 43 mils across. You're going to need to add just one or two there extra for your chrono pushers. I'm getting a very manageable 47 mils north to south, and it's just 11 mils deep. It's got quite an odd choice then of 23 mil lugs, but you know, so yeah, that might make strap changes a little bit challenging. I don't have many other 23 mil straps, but this white leather I think works very well indeed. So yeah, don't be put off by the size of it, because I think, you know, my wrist is 7¼ I think the shorter north to south just helps it hug the wrist very well. I think the depth and the width, again, super manageable. I really like this. I think it's a summer sports watch. It's absolutely fantastic. They do retail in the UK for around £890 because they're a limited edition. But again, do ask the guys at First Class Watches for price matching on that. This is a limited edition, so there's only 200 of each way. Again, you don't need me to tell you about the big, bold racing stripes. But actually, it's not motorsport. It's more of an Olympic timing celebration for the brand, harking back to the 1972 Munich Olympics. So that's essentially where it comes from. So let's just zoom in and look at the dial a little bit more. So down at the 6 o'clock, we have the 6. God, as I say, it kind of looks like the Monte Carlo car number. The case body profile, I think, is really, very nice. It's low, and it hugs the wrist very, very well indeed. And the brushing on it, I think, is pretty damn good. The lugs are sort of fairly stubby, as you can see, but they curve and they drop just nicely, and they sit and they don't sit above the case bottom, which I find a personal bugbear, because again, that's the other thing, just helps make it sit on wrist so very well indeed. The case back is pretty unfussy. Some people might have preferred to see, you know, a more exclusive engraving design on here or something. But anyway, as I say, it's pretty unfussy, and you can also see, where's it gone? I can't see through the camera. Yeah, here, your limited edition number. So we are 160 of 200 units only. The bezel, again, something else that I really liked on this. I think the silver and black work particularly well here. It does move. 120 clicker, sounds like this. And for 120 clicker, it's got a very positive and purposeful movement to it. And again, just let me look through the camera so you can't see where I'm going. Back up to the top, it aligns, I think, pretty well. There's a tinsy bit of wiggle as it sits. No, there isn't. It sits solid. Yeah, that's not going anywhere. The only movement there is when it heads off forward again. So again, quality wise on that bezel fixing, I think it's pretty good. And I've gone past it again. Hang on a minute. Yeah, there we go. So again, as I say, I just like the fact that that silver stands out there, you know, sort of playing with the negative space. Really, really nice indeed. Good choice. The dial then, obviously, as you can see at the bottom, then we've got the running seconds down at the 6. It's got a little silver hand there, but it just sits over the 6 quite well, so you can see it moving around. It's subtle as opposed to stand out. You've got your wonky date down there, obviously, at the 4:30. The hour markers, see if I can zoom in a fraction more without too much reflection. The hour markers are super polished in those center sections, and they stand up very proudly as well. As I say, quite nice finishing on that dial. I think it looks very, very good indeed, and there's so much shine, as I say, off those center sections of those hour markers. You know, it's almost like they stand slightly in off the minute track, you know, they're marching inwards to the center of the dial. Again, impressive. The chrono action, oh sorry, yeah, so the other thing I wanted to mention, the minute hand, look how it extends really properly into that minute track. Again, something which I find personally kind of important. I really like to see that on watches. The chrono action is very positive, nice positive crunch as it tricks off around here. So it looks pretty good. And then it pops back up to the top as well. And it aligns. It's kind of difficult to see because the needle hand is so very, very fine. You know, if you tilt it, it looks a little bit off. But if you get it very, very central, it does align absolutely perfectly. And again, quite hard to do when you consider that it is such a fine needle chrono hand. I'm wondering about the hands on the dial. Again, you know, they're very highly polished. I wonder if they couldn't have been black. They might have stood out just a little bit better, but again, that's entirely personal preference. You do get a signed crown over here, and you can see it's really very, very well protected with those crown guards. It really snuggles in there very nicely indeed. Obviously, it's a push-pull. It is a little on the fiddly side, specifically that date, the quick set date. As you can see there, I mean, it's about 0.5 millimeter off the base push, so do bear that in mind. And then obviously you pull back out, and again, action is very, very smooth. It's very soft and very smooth, impressive. The movement states that it is a Junghans own, but I've got a bit of confusion here because I did a bit of research on that Junghans movement, and it's information that I found. It's an unregulated version of a Ronda. Please do correct me if that is wrong. But again, I'm thinking that some watch nutters amongst us may prefer, you know, for the price point, a slightly better movement in there, or maybe a little bit transparency on whether it's a Ronda or a Junghans, or whether they're regulating it themselves. Is it unregulated? Again, there isn't any information that I can see on their website about that. Again, so do shout if I'm getting that information incorrect. Unfortunately, they've gone with a 24-hour sub-dial over at the 3. I find them a little bit wasted on chronos, again, but it's something that's quite common amongst watch brands. The loom is not bad. It's very good on the hands, in fact, but I do wonder if the hour marker blobs could have been a little bit larger. They would then perhaps, you know, just pop out just a little bit better. I do very much like the white leather strap. It's potentially a little bit chavvy, but you know, no comment on that one. I love the contrast stitching on there, which matches the color over here. And again, you get that signed crown over there. Nice big signed buckle. Nice big buckle. Very, very positive. And obviously, it then comes on quick releases as well. You know, so help you prevent scratching to the case back, etc. Again. I think it's got that just really nice sporty look to it. And the other thing I wanted to mention is I really do like the way that they built they brought the case body, the flank out a little bit there, just to hug those chrono pushers as well. I think that's really, really nice. Some people sort of, some brands, put them on single, standout poppers, but I think, these big buttons here work very, very nicely indeed. So yeah, I mean, it's super sporty look to it. Again, you don't need me to tell you that. I think my only really queries again are on the movement versus the price point, but looks wise, it's absolutely fantastic, and it's just screaming out, let's bring summer on very, very quickly. Massive thanks again to the lovely people at First Class Watches. Do hit them up, let them know you've come from the Time Bomb channel. Thanks to you always for your time and for your view, and we'll catch you all in the next watch vid. Cheers now.